Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello. Ah, you're too. Nice to meet you. I think you are on mute.
We are waiting for Michaela to join.
Okay, great.
Le mando il link.
She's trying to join.
Yes, no worries. Okay, I was trying to share my screen in the meantime.
Okay.
Will be only the three of you.
And
yeah.
another one? No,
No.
Roshika.
Roshika riesce? Okay. So we are going to be 4 people, I think.
Okay, great. But in total, how many are you in the class?
We are 6 students, but at the moment there are 2 students that we haven't seen in months.
Two,
Yeah.
two disappeared people.
Yeah.
So 4 again.
Yeah, more or less.
Però Roshika aveva detto che...
Provate.
Le scrivo.
Esatto. Sì.
Ah, ok. Michaela prova dall'iPad. Michaela sta scrivendo.
I think I saw her in the waiting list.
Yeah. Miki, senti?
Sì. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Okay, so I don't know if Roshika is joining us.
Okay, I think in the meantime, I can start sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me know if you see the screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And now you see full screen?
Yes.
Okay, you see myself here because I see myself on the screen, but I don't know if you see it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the full
See lesson
slide
number
or...
1. Yeah.
Yeah, lesson number 1.
Okay, cool. So guys, first of all, welcome to the course and very nice to meet you. I'm Luca. Here are some key highlights on me. I come from a very small village at the edge between Lombardy and Piemonte. It's called Mezzana, and it's a super small place. There are more sheep than people, like you can see in the picture. Then I was very fan of Luca Toni, a football player, but now he retired, so I retired myself as well, consistently from football. And my sport is cross-country skiing, which I don't even know if you know it. Is quite of strange. It's like the skiing, but not the normal one. You also have uplift and down lifts. But I really like it because my grandfather used to do it, my father used to do it, and so I'm the first generation of this peculiar sport, let's say. In terms of my, let's say, professional journey, I was lucky enough to study, work, and also have fun in 4 different countries, so Italy, UK, Spanish, and Netherlands. I have a mixed background, humanistic studies and economics, which I think it's really much what marketing is about, because you have always the component about psychology, consumer behavior, but also the part about market and business knowledge, of course. And I work in 2 main multinational companies. One is Kraft Heinz, which is very known for the ketchup worldwide, so the Heinz ketchup. And right now I'm senior brand manager in Danone, so a company that is much more into yogurts, milk, and this kind of products. But I do like to introduce myself more, not only with my what, but also with my why. So what really motivates me and the reason why I'm in business, and is very related to the wish to have an impact on society. I think that if you do marketing and if you work in a big company like I'm lucky to do, you have really the possibility to impact society. And so that's why I chose this professional path and this job so far. But I love also to teach and to learn. I really see and approach teaching as an exchange of knowledge. So let's have this conversational approach during the course. Ask me question, please tell your opinion about the things we are going to go through. And yes, I think this is also a very powerful way to impact society, right? Because if we learn each other, if we grow each other, then we will be for sure a better businessman and woman in the world. So this was me in a nutshell, but I'm really curious to know you also because you are a small class. I was teaching strategic marketing for the 3rd year, and they were more or less 12 people. But given if you are 3-4 people, I can know you even better. So it will be really interesting for me if you could just introduce yourself a bit and share a bit about you before starting the course.
So my name is Andrea. I'm originally from Castiglione Stiviere, it's close to Mantua.
I live in Desenzano, so we're super close.
Ah, okay.
Desenzano del Garda.
Oh, okay. And yeah, what do I have to say about myself? I don't even know. I'm attending the 1st year of this school. I chose this school because I got my diploma in Liceo Paritario Isaac Newton. That's like Anzunelli is like the owner of both of these schools. And yeah, I like sports. I like basketball. I like football. I love motorsports in general. So Formula One, MotoGP, all of that. And basically that's it. I would like to get into sales. That's my goal, to get into sales.
Okay. You have it clear already.
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic. Well, nice to meet you, Andrea. And I
Nice to
think
meet you.
marketing will be useful for you as well if you wanna,
Yeah.
to pursue a sales career. And the opposite is true as well. We as a marketeers, we study a lot of sales. Some of us also, work for sales for some years to get this experience because at the end, they are very linked. Thanks for your introduction.
Thank you.
So, I'm Silvia, and I live in Rovato. And I used to attend a high school of music because my passion is singing and playing piano. Then I was an exchange student in the US, in Texas.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I moved alone to Barcelona to work. And that was my crazy experience. And so
What
I
did you
really
do
love
for as a job?
a barista.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Barcelona.
Yeah. And then I attended the last year in Newton too. I was in class with Michaela. And I really love to travel. My goal is to be a digital nomad as a copywriter, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Fantastic. Thanks for your introduction. Congrats for your experience already. So
Thank
your
you.
international experience already, and I wish you will travel even more thanks to your
Thank
job.
you. Yeah.
Well, hi, I'm Michaela, and I live in a small town in the Camonica Valley. But as Sylvia said, I attended Liceo Isaac Newton last year, and the year before I lived in Nevada as an exchange student. And I do love really to play the clarinet, and I also have been playing volleyball since a long time, but unfortunately right now I'm not playing anymore. And what can I say? I just love to travel, as they said, of course. And I do hope I get the chance to travel the world while working. And what I would like to do in my life is probably get, for now, a master's degree or, I don't know, an internship in the touristic field. And then I'll see. I don't have really a clear vision about that.
Okay, clear. Thanks for the introduction. Nice to meet you too. And yes, definitely. I think you have a lot of time ahead to really assess, your direction and even to reassess it. So it's great that all of you actually already have some ideas, and then of course you will probably develop it along the years and even change your minds maybe. But this is perfectly normal. So great to know you. And yes, I think this course that is basically about the foundation of marketing. So basically along the 3 years, you will have one course of marketing for each year, starting from this introduction to marketing. Then you will have next year principle of marketing, and the last year strategic marketing. So basically you are going to start a journey in marketing as well. And after this free course, you will have a good, knowledge about this subject. So this is the very first course, so very basic things, but already very, very useful, I think, also regarding your future plan. So during the course, I don't know if you can hear the audio as well. but just to let you know the approach I really like and I invite you to have. Can you hear the video?
No, we can't.
You can't?
No,
Okay,
I
sorry
don't. I
about
don't
that.
know about the others.
Okay,
No, we
okay.
are not hearing it.
Okay. Well, basically, it was a video from Madagascar. I don't know if you know the movie. And basically, the song I like you move it, and it repeats it many times because I believe that really you'll get the most out of this course, but in general of your experience if you move. So if you're curious, if you go, out exploring, if you get your hands dirty. So my advice is really to go beyond and deep dive the content that is at the end very basic, also because it's the first course, is your first year. So if you are curious enough to go even deeper, to explore, you will get the most out of the course. And then the second invite is, of course, to be present, not only showing up, in this course that will be partially online and partially in class, but also, to really get involved in the course, ask, comment, challenge what we discuss every day. So I know this is an approach that the school push a lot. And I'm fully aligned, I fully agree. So I really invite you to have this attitude along the lectures. So I really like it if you move it. And then during the slides, you will see that there are some power questions or food for thoughts. So sometimes we will go through the content and it could come up a question or a power question for us to discuss. And then some seeds that are more, let's say, a link, an external link that is, of course, related to the content, but is not strictly required for you to study. So it could be, a book or a movie or even a simple link to a website to go a little bit deeper in what I'm explaining, which I don't have time to do during the class. But if you're curious and if you want, or if you like that specific topic, at least you have the possibility to go a little bit deeper. So some links just as an advice for you to deep dive a bit the content. So if you see these symbols across the slides, you know what they mean. And then let's see the agenda of today. Today we have 2 hours. And basically it's the first lecture. So we will really go through what is marketing, some basic definition. And then the 4 Ps plus 1 of marketing. So this is a very basic model that is basically, it was born, I think, with when marketing was born. So it's really the first thing you study when you approach marketing. And it's just a simplification to tell you some key aspects of marketing that can be summarized in these 4 Ps. Then some people think that we have 5 Ps and even more. So we will see the first 4 Ps plus the 5th P. So, of course, as I was saying, feel free to interrupt me anytime, to join the conversation, to ask questions, or to challenge the content, so that we can have, a powerful and enriching discussion. So, what is marketing, first of all? I think that this is a very common word. So every time we speak about marketing and we have a basic understanding on what marketing is. But let's see a very basic definition that can be useful for those who work in marketing. So not only the general marketing. Basically, in essence, marketing is the process by which companies or people or brands create value for customers. We will see better what is a customer, who can be considered a customer, and build also lasting relationship with customers in order to capture value from customers in return. So basically, it's all about satisfying a customer need in order to get value back. So basically it's creating, but also exchanging value. So it's not something that you keep it for yourself, but you put in market or in society value and you get a value back. So basically what a marketing aim for is to understand a customer need because you want to address it. So first of all, you have to have clear in mind what is the need, what is an interesting need to be addressed through your marketing strategy. Then again, you want to develop the right products and service, providing a superior experience and value to address that need to a specific price, right? You want to distribute your product or service. And of course, you want to promote the products in an effective way to sell it. And finally, value can be captured from the customer in return. So once you are clear about the customer need, you develop your a product or a service to address that need, then you set the price, you distribute properly, you promote in the best way, you sell it, then you will be ready, given you have provided a value in society because you have addressed a specific need, then you will be ready to get the value in return. When we talk about value, it's not only economic value. So you will not only sell your product at a specific price, that's for sure will happen, and you will gain some precious revenues, which are super important, of course, for your company to survive. But also you will get social value, you will get a relationship with your customers if you are good enough. So your value exchange is much more beyond, just an exchange of money. That's why we say it's a value exchange and not a simple transaction or a simple money exchange. So let's have also an overview about which are basically the steps, the basic steps for a company to fulfill this process. So the marketing process can be divided in two large parts. The first one consists of activities that create value for customer. So exactly the purpose we were saying before, right? Create value for customer. And this is the largest and main part of the process and can be further sub-split into 4 steps. So the first step of the marketing process look at who the customer is and what he needs and wants. So we were talking about a specific need from a certain target. Let's say this is another word very common in marketing, right? So you will have to choose a specific need and a specific target. With a product, you cannot solve all the problems of humanity, of course. But if you are very clear about a need, then a need for a specific people, then you can address it very effectively. And before any other marketing activities make sense, the company should gain a complete understanding of the need and of the marketplace you can win in. Otherwise, you risk to just put a product in the market, right? If I ask you to launch a new product, you can make up thousands of products in a few seconds, right? But just some of them will be successful in the market. And if you really are clear about the need, the wants of your target, then of course you maximize the chance of success for your product or service. So to understand, let's say, not only the need, but also the environment, the marketplace, of course, you need to study it. You need to do some research to have it more clear as possible. So it's really about gathering information at the end. And this is the very first step for you to maximize your understanding. So you may have to collect some customer data, some marketing information that you will need then to analyze to have and to prepare your final marketing plan. So the second step of the process is to design a customer-driven marketing strategy. So how do you make that? Through segmentation and targeting. So once you are clear about the marketplace, the need, and you gather all the information, then what I was just saying before is that you need to have a clear target in your mind, right? The more you are clear about your desired target, the more your marketing will be effective. So not all the products are for everyone. And I will say that there are no products for everyone. In fact, of course, there are products that are more mainstream, products or services that are more mainstream, and some others that are much more niche, depending on the strategy and on what the product is basically is born for. But yet, any product, any service you provide in the market, you have to be very clear about the target and about one or some segments. So imagine to study the Italian population, then you will be split in different segments, in different targets, and then you will choose only to address some of them. Of course, when we split in target, you don't have to imagine only women or men or young people and old people. These are very basic segmentation, which can be useful, of course, because some products may be more for older people or some others more for women. But in general, a segmentation is much more profound, right? So your target is not only about some demographic characteristic, yes, for sure, but also some attitudes, some values. For example, you may have a product that is for young people, but maybe is only for young sportive people and not for everyone young in this world. So just a stupid example to make you understand that the segmentation and the targeting process is to be run quite in depth to make sure you understand you are clear about your final target. So it's really the answer to this question you see in yellow. So what customers do we want to serve? And answering this question is clear, of course, is necessary because a company cannot serve all customers in every way. You need to make choices. A good marketing strategy is about choices. What to do, but also what not to do. Which needs we are going to satisfy, which target we're going to talk to, but also which customers we're not interested in. So that is very important because then you can focus your resources, of economic resources, but also your efforts, of course, in the most efficient way and also in the most profitable way, because you will not lose your money or even your time in things that are not aligned with your customers. So definitely segmentation and targeting are crucial to determine who will be served by your marketing. Then you have studied the marketplace, you decided a need to address, you know very well the people you want to talk to. So every time you think something about your product, you have in mind these people and these personas you want to reach. But then you need to do more, right? In this marketing process, you need to differentiate and position your product or yourself in the market. So basically, this help you to make, of course, more valuable your product for customers and also to make you different from competitors. Because usually what happens, unless you, of course, are a genius and you invent a completely new product or service that is very, very revolutionary, so something super new in the market, usually what happens very, very often is that you have competitors that address exactly the same need with exactly the same target. So you will find yourself in the marketplace to fight against these competitors for the same buyer, basically for the same customer. So usually you have this experience as consumers as well. When you go in the supermarket and you are in front of the shelf, you see, let's say that you're looking for a pasta and you see different brands right on shelf of pasta. And basically they are talking to you. Yes, there are some special pasta, maybe addressing some specific need like gluten-free or so on. But generally speaking, if you are in front of the shelf, you are the target. And pasta, of course, want to address also the same need. That is the need for food, for carbohydrates, and for being part of our Mediterranean diet. But still, there are so many differences right across brands in terms of price, in terms of portions, for example, in terms of quality, and you will make your choice, right? So if you are on the other side and you need to put a pasta on the shelf, you need to be clear about your price, what your product is about, and also make some choice to differentiate from competitors. So to be the preferred choice by your select target. So it's really about asking yourself, okay, which position does he want to achieve in customers' minds? My marketing, my product, my service, what really I want people to think about me. And this, of course, involves to choose a marketing concept behind. So when you, again, imagine you are still in front of this shelf, you don't only find pasta or a simple box writing this is pasta, right? But you have all the branding behind and really selling you that specific pasta and explaining you via communication, via packaging design, why that specific pasta is so special and why you should pay that amount of money for having it. But you need to have a concept, a position in the market that is differentiating from competitors. And you need to make sure that people understand this position and that they are willing to pay that specific price. So when the marketing strategy is designed, the company can address the first step, which is which focus on constructing an integrated marketing product that is the so-called marketing mix. So every time you heard about this word, so marketing mix, basically you understand that you already have done your homework, let's say, in the previous steps. So you are already clear about the needs, the customers, and also yourself, your positioning. And now you need to mix all the marketing elements to make, let's say, the winning final result, the winning equation, the winning portions for your customers. So basically, is really about turning the marketing strategy into real value for the customer. Because remember that the definition we start from saying that marketing is really about this exchanging of value. You want to deliver a superior value. And then, of course, there is the last step of the marketing process that is should be very easy if you have done all the steps in a very clear and thoughtful way. So basically, it's about really managing all the marketing levers. So we were mentioning the price, the promotion. Now we will go a bit deeper about them. So basically, these stages that might seem a bit theoretical at this step come to a final concrete application, right? So you will really end up to a shelf if we're talking about MCG, but in general in the market with a price, with a communication, or the advertising you have prepared for your target, and so on. Then is the real world out there, but this is coming only at the very late stages. So just after having done all these crucial steps. They are not compulsory. You can even launch a product from one day to the other. So tonight you will you can think about a product and tomorrow have it in the marketplace. But again, these are some useful steps for you to maximize your chance of success. Think about the fact that every day thousands of products, millions of products and services are new in the market, but just a very small percentage of them survive more than some months. So it's really a crucial marketplace where to fight. But if you are clear about the steps we were just mentioning, then of course you have much more tools for playing the game, let's say. So this was just a very basic definition about marketing and some crucial steps that normally you should do before making a proper marketing strategy. And then we go to what we call marketing mainstays, that are basically the 4 P's that I was mentioning before. So really the basic. So the pillars of each marketing strategy. That, of course, is much more complex than this. Remember, this is just the first lecture of your first course in marketing. So it may seem very easy and very basic. But I can swear you that many companies, they don't pay enough attention to these basic pillars. And this because our basic pillars are fundamental to success. Then you can have more complex things and so on. But if you don't have your basics, let's say, well setted, then this will have some consequence. Your house, your strategic marketing will not be so solid. So these 4 pillars are product, place, price, and promotion. They all start with P, and that's why a good marketeer chose the name 4 Ps. And basically, as I was mentioning, there are some, of course, theoretical discussion about how many Ps a marketing has. And for sure, given we are in a world where, with a lot of digitalization, but also with a lot of experiential marketing, we will talk more about it. There is at least a 5th P you should consider, that is people, right? When we talk about people, it's not only people in terms of customer, so consumers, but it's more your own people. So your employees, for example, employees are more and more ambassador for the company and for the brand. So maybe a marketing asset for you. But also think about your people if they are in direct contact with your customer. So imagine you have a store, right? And you have some people in there selling things, selling your product to the final consumer. Of course, these people are not only employee, but because they are in the store and are in the direct contact with your consumer, then for sure is something you should really take care of. So not only train them, but also transforming them in small marketeers, because at the end they are at the very forefront of the selling journey. So let's have 4 main Ps plus the 5th P, that is people. Then we will see even something more complex. But for now, let's focus on these basic mainstays about marketing, which are very crucial to make your plan strong and successful. So let's start from the first one, that is product. So product is, of course, something that is crucial for your marketing. It can be very, very obvious, but for example, sometimes you don't have the product and you still have a marketing strategy. And this, of course, is quite a tragedy, because you are investing money, but you don't have the product to sell. This may happen for many reasons. Imagine problems in the supply chain, or simply that your product is not available or not ready yet. Well, product is definitely one pillar of your marketing strategy, right? When we talk about products, we usually distinguish between tangible product and intangible product or service. So we're not only talking about tangible products that can be tasted, seen, and touched. Of course, I have my phone here, and this is a tangible product, right? But also we talk about services. So imagine you have a food chain restaurant that a service, but still that is the first mainstay of marketing, that is called product. So tangible and intangible things. Here you have some example, right? So phones, laptops, chocolate, food items, they're all tangible product. And of course, something very important about tangible product, and that can play a role in your marketing strategy, is packaging. That is not only something that you do, of course, to protect your product while you transport it from one point to another, but also can be a very strong marketing tool, because via your packaging, you transfer some characteristics, some features about your product but also you can communicate thanks to your packaging some information about your product. But also you can do some storytelling about your product or your brand. And this is something that I invite you to discover every time you buy a product. Really focus on the packaging and think about why that specific packaging is made like this, what it wants to communicate, what it's telling you. And you will see that is really much a powerful way to brand and to market your product. Then you have all the intangible products or simply services. And of course, here is on one hand more difficult because it's not something that you can touch, it's a service, but at the same time, it's something that you can experience. So you have other marketing levers that you can play with, of course. And specifically in the last, I would say 20 years, the service industry is expanding very, very, in a very, very interesting way. Think about the hospitality sector, the beauty and spa services that are exploding, right? Thanks to the trend also of taking care of ourselves more and more. So there's really something interesting behind a need, probably, that cannot be addressed via a tangible product. Not all the human needs can be addressed by a tangible product, but some of them can be interestingly addressed with a service, with an experience. So basically, once you do a marketing strategy, you cannot ignore your product. So not only about the quality, of course, but also the value that your product will have in terms of perceived value at your target and your specific target that you have already chosen in the first step of the marketing strategy. So really, you need to spend some time in designing the product, but also all the feature. An example, of course, is the Apple's MacBook, right? Is a laptop, but the way is designed and also the specific features tells a lot about Apple as a brand, and also they are specifically relevant for some people that love, for example, to do some creative stuffs, or they want simplicity, or they want a good-looking and sexy laptop. This was really a key point of differentiation for Apple in general as a brand, but also for a MacBook versus other, competitors, other kind of laptop that maybe was playing more on performances or some other features. But for the Apple marketing, knowing the need, knowing the specific target of Apple, an Apple MacBook is a clear example of a good marketing strategy in terms of product, because it delivers whatever an Apple product should deliver. So here we are with our first power question. I was mentioning at the beginning of the lecture that you will encounter across the different lectures some power questions for us to discuss. So I would like you to think about your favorite product, so a product that you really love, and I would like you to think and say why is your favorite one, what does it have of so special for you, and also from your point of view, what need of yours does it fulfill? Someone who want to share some thoughts?
I'm thinking about a product.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I don't have like a favorite product. Maybe.
Maybe a product that you love. Or...
Yeah. I have a clothing product.
Go, Andrea.
La giacca. Favorite product. What is your favorite one? Yesterday we were going through some shops, and I was looking at there's like one. Dio, mi sfugge il nome. Coat.
Mhm.
And yeah, it may be my favorite one just because of the name on it.
Mhm.
Maybe.
What's the name?
Loro Piana.
Okay, so also the brand, let's say.
Yeah.
But you know that the quality is very high and blah blah blah.
But then, like, when I touched the material itself, the fabric, it was like super good, and I fell in love with it. Not just because of the name, but because of the quality itself.
Not the price.
Not the price. Not the price.
Okay, clear. Okay.
It stayed on the window because of it.
Okay, but did you buy it online or in a store?
No, it was in a physical store.
Okay, so
I
basically
wouldn't
you
know.
could touch it before
Yeah.
buying it. Okay, so basically the quality of the product, let's say, convince you of the investment you had to do.
No, I didn't
to
went
this store.
through with the purchase because it
Ah,
was
okay.
too expensive. But
Okay.
if I had the opportunity to do that, I would 100% do that.
Okay, that's good already, for a
Yeah.
marketeer. I mean, a Loro Piana marketeer listening to you will be happy,
Yeah.
even if you haven't done the purchase yet.
Yeah.
And in your opinion, what is the need behind this?
Like in my situation, I was actually looking for a coat
Mhm.
because I needed one. But then I think about like other people that are just going through the shops, like maybe they don't need a coat, but they are going to look at it because it's good. I don't know, it's eye catching. It's done in a beautiful way. I don't know how to say it. Like my need was a physical one, I would say. Like I needed something to dress myself with.
You really need a coat, but at the end you bought another one, or you
Yeah,
still need a coat?
yeah, because it was less expensive, and I went for another one.
Okay, so you fulfilled your needs, let's say.
Yeah, I
Okay,
did.
so a very basic one. Yes, a coat, of course, you need it because you need to to protect yourself by cold. So it's a very basic need, but still very valuable. I mean, it's one of the reasons why also we eat every day because we have this need. Of course, so there are some basic human needs. But then if we only had this need, basically Loro Piana wouldn't sell any coat.
Yeah.
Because, even I mean, I'm sure that the other coat you bought is protecting you well enough.
Yeah.
At least in a comparison to Loro Piana. So what do you think could be the need behind a Loro Piana coat? So not just normal coat, but a specific coat.
Maybe when it's like so high end, it's more of a status symbol thing. Like I'm dressing with Loro Piana. Like that's not my goal, but some people are going to be like, yeah, I'm dressing in a Loro Piana coat and then I'm someone. I don't know what the actual need is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other ideas, maybe Silvia, Michela? What could be the need behind a Loro Piana coat?
Well, I would say the same that Andrea said. Just feeling into that type of dress would make you feel more accepted in society, I would say. But otherwise, I wouldn't know what to say.
It's more a status thing than
No, this is very interesting. Let's say that is very common in the luxury products, right?
Yeah.
So think about fashion, high fashion, luxury fashion, but also, I don't know, expensive cars or this kind of very luxury product, because always, there are some basic needs, like the ones we were discussing about. So I want to be protected and warm, basically, but also some social needs, for example, and the ones you were mentioning. So the fact that I want to look good, I want to have something eye-catching, I want to be socially accepted. These are all needs, right? Again, it's a basic need, so it's a human need. We all want to be socially accepted, but then a specific target maybe will need it more, and also will be able to, or will be willing to pay so much for it. Maybe there is also some, because Andrea, you also was saying, yeah, I didn't buy it, also because it's very expensive, but for sure, if tomorrow I will have more money and I can afford it, I was so in love with the quality of the coat that I will buy it. So probably there are also some other needs, right, linked to the quality of the product. So for example, imagine when we talk about need, you can also think about wish or pleasures. It's not only a strict necessity, So maybe it's the wish to have, to dress something that is so high quality because you feel well in that coat. And maybe if you feel well, you dress something that make you feel well. Maybe it can give you more confidence, even, in your day. So there are a lot of correlations between needs and wishes. Some of them are more personal, like I want something for myself, I want to be, cozy in this so high quality coat. Some others might be more social driven, and you can even have more than one need. But just to say that that can seem and can look very theoretical, reality is something that you experience every day with your product. And usually it's something that people don't think about. So it's not that when you buy a product, you think, okay, which wasn't the need of mine. You just feel it and you just buy it. But it can be a useful exercise for you, to train yourself to think as a marketeer, to do this exercise. So to think about a product you bought or even a product that you didn't buy and ask yourself, okay, but what need is trying to address and why it's so important to me, or why it got zero interest of mine. Can be also the opposite. But if you are more aware about these reasons, then of course you will be able to put yourself in other shoes and also to address some needs on the other side. So once you will be asked to make a marketing plan. So thanks for sharing, Andrea, and also Michele and Silvia for your comments. I think that was a very, very interesting example. And really, I invite you to think about it in your, let's say, day-to-day, to see if other products play with you and which specific needs they are trying to address. So this was the first pillar, right? Product. Remember that we're always speaking about tangible and intangible products. So product, because it starts with P, and it's a rule of marketing, but we are of course talking also about service. Then we have the second mainstay, that is place. So what do we mean with place? So basically is the physical place, but can be even not so physical. That's why I ask you, for example, did you buy the coat online or in physical store? Because right now it's very common to have some place where you can buy that are not physical. But given we are doing the pillars, let's think about place as a physical place where people can easily find your product. So it could be a store in a mall, of course, your store in a small town or in a big city. So it's what we call basically the placement of your product. So you produce your product, but then where? So the question is really where you're going to sell your product. And the place you sell your product is, of course, very, very important. So you need to, first of all, maximize basic rule of marketing that can be not so true in some cases, but in general, 90% of the brands and of the products try to maximize what we call the physical availability. So imagine you are launching your own coat, so you want to be a competitor of Loro Piana, and you are, designing this wonderful new and luxury coat. Once you have it, you have the first production, but then you need to maximize because we maximize the distribution, because of course the more consumers will physically find your coat, the more you will sell usually. Imagine to have only one store or a full international chain of 200 stores. It's really, really likely that you will sell much more if you have 200 stores. I was mentioning that this is not a golden rule in 100% of the cases, because given we're talking about luxury, you know that a basic marketing strategy of the luxury product is to provide some exclusivity. So if you want to have a really exclusive product, maybe you have to control your distribution. You don't want it to be so so spread everywhere. Maybe you want to be only in some selected store, in some selected place, or you don't want to be so accessible to create this, this wish for your product. But generally speaking, the more you are distributed, the more you sell. So the sales of a product will be high if it is placed, of course, in a central location of the town, and that can be a good reason to pay a high rent. If you decide to open a store, you see all these crazy stores in the city center. They pay more for that store because they are, let's say, giving priority to the place. So exactly the same product placed in the city center will sell more. But not only that, some products may have different prices depending on where you shop. So if you shop a product, for example, in an emergency situation or in an auto grill, you will pay more, because you have, imagine a sandwich in an auto grill, or even a bottle of water, a very simple bottle of water, you will pay more than exactly the same bottle of water in a normal supermarket. So place is really important for your marketing strategy, and it's part of the strategy. So again, every time I say strategy is really about making choices. So your choices about the place of your product or your service will be part of your marketing strategy. So I was mentioning that in the modern times, we don't only talk about physical place. Of course, there are also virtual place. Think about Amazon, right? Like the place for excellence where to buy products, not in a physical store, but of course you can have your own store online, or even in a social network, right? This is becoming more and more common. And in the near future, I imagine that we will shop basically within the same platform. So if you see a product that you like in TikTok, you should be able to buy it directly within that specific social network. So they say that these edges, this differentiation between physical, virtual, and digital are becoming more and more mixed. So you can even have a mixed experience. You go into a store, you see a product you like, but then you purchase it online. So that's why it's important that you are really careful about your place and your sales channels, so that you decide where your product should be, and also that you make it happen. So that if you decide that your product should be sold in every supermarket in Italy, then of course you need to distribute it. And you need, if you don't have your own stores, for example, you need to convince your clients to put yourself on shelf. If we come back to the example of pasta, if you go to the Esselunga, it's Esselunga that decide which brand of pasta to put on its shelf. So if you are Barilla, you will be easily shown on the shelf, right? Because you already have a position in the market. But if tomorrow you launch a new brand of pasta, it will not be so easy for you to be distributed. Even if you want to be in every single Esselunga, you go to Esselunga, the Esselunga say, no, thank you, but I don't want your pasta, because no one knows about your brand or your quality. I'm not interested in your position, in your marketing concept. It's not giving something new to my customers. So let's say that it's very important, the strategy, but also the execution. And this execution is not always depending only by yourself. So let's say that an important placement of the product is as much as important as the product itself. If you have the best product in the world, but that then is not well placed, then you may have a problem. Like the opposite is true. If you have the best placement in the world, but you have a terrible product, then you will not sell a lot, right? So all these mainstays we are going through, they're all very important basics for your strategy. You should not go only with one or another, but you should really take care of all of these four pillars. So what we were mentioning, right, is that of course you should make the experience the easiest possible in terms of placement and distribution of your product. And this is true also for online and digital places. So at the very beginning of e-commerce, I remember, you are too young to remember, but I was here already. And I remember that basically when you needed to buy a product, you had a lot of steps. So if you will go for online, you need to go, I don't know, through 15 steps to buy maybe a simple bottle of water. You need to register yourself, to go all your details, to go through a lot of details, and blah, blah, blah. I was mentioning Amazon. Amazon is also one excellent example of facilitating the shopper experience. So, you don't need to go through a lot of steps or difficult things. Your experience is very smooth, and that also help a lot in terms of the specific channel, what we call the e-commerce, to grow and to become the norm, especially in the younger part of the population. Now is really common for you to buy things online, but this came through a specific strategy. And then, of course, we have the third pillar, that is price. This is the first P. So you have your amazing product, you have designed it fantastic for your specific target, you have it distributed well, you have place in the place you want your product to be, but then we came to the price, right? Because unless you are an NGO, you are not giving your product for free. And this is also a good thing, because of course you put a lot of energies behind the product. Maybe you have some special coat like the Loro Piana one with a lot of quality, a lot of work behind. And of course, you don't only want to sell it, but you want also to position your product at the right price to get then your revenues and to invest again in your marketing strategy. So basically, even if you have an excellent product, you may end up fail to generate sales if you don't have the right price on shelf. So it's really important that you pick the right price point to maximize your sales. So what it basically helps to provide a good price, it's a number of factors. Let's start from the fact that price is always something that is perceived. I mean, the right price for a product is not something that is objective. Yes, for sure, you have some cost to produce a product, so you cannot go below a certain line, right? So if you buy a product 50 euros, you cannot sell it at 30. This is of course true. But then if we go above the line, above your cost, you will need to assess a price point, and it's not rocket science, right? And this is really about perception. So your price is a way to communicate your value, and you will need to make sure that your consumer recognize this value and that they are willing to pay this specific price for your product. They will do it if they perceive all the quality behind, all the branding behind that justify that price. Otherwise, you will end up to have an overprice to your product. So that the difference between what you pay for the product and what you sell the price to, so your price point, is really what your margin is. So it's your source of business. Again, if you pay a product 50 euro and then you resell it at 100 euro, you have 50 euro of revenues that you can reinvest, for example, in some other marketing strategies or some expansion, or simply to pay all the costs related to your company. So price is really the source of revenue, but you need to justify your price on shelf to have a successful result, right? So, of course, the sales of substitute goods highly depend on the price factor. So remember that you are always in this competitive arena we were discussing about. So basically, it's not only about yourself, your product, and your price, but it's also something very interrelated with what your competitors are offering, right? So if a similar product is offered at a better price, usually people tend to pay less if the perceived quality is the same. Remember that it's always about perception. So maybe your product is, from a quality point of view, better, but if you're not able, and marketing is a crucial way to do so, if you're not able to transfer this quality, this value to consumer, then they will not perceive it, and then they will ever go with a cheaper option, because if the offer quality is the same, why should I pay more? So basically, there is this basic tendency to, have and buy products with lower price when it comes to choose among substitute goods. But remember that if you are able to make perceive the superiority, then you will be able to charge more for your product, and then you will have more revenues, of course. So here we come with another power question of us. So think about your favorite product again. So we can even think about the Loro Piana coat that Andrea really wants to buy. So the question is it a premium or a cheap one? I think the answer is quite straightforward in this case. But how much is charged versus a competitor, substitute goods, so another coat? And the question is, will you have been ready to spend more for it, and why?
Yeah, so that's a premium product. And how much is charged versus substitute goods? I would say that with less than what I would have spent on that coat, I bought 2 coats from another competitor. So would I have been ready to spend more for it? I don't.
Not now.
Not now. Maybe later on.
Yeah, more, of course. I mean, not more than the price, than the real price, but more versus competition.
Yeah.
So if you perceive a superior value, then, as I was saying before, you will be willing to pay more. And that was the case, right? Because your coat was even more expensive than other competitors, even the double. That the one you bought. In this case, you were not able to do so for a number of reasons. Maybe you didn't want to invest so much at this specific time, or it was even more expensive that you could afford, or just maybe you thought that 2 coats of still a good quality was better than only one from Loro Piana. So this was really influenced by the price, right? Because when you was describing the code in the first Power question, you start from the quality. He was saying, I touched it and it was, fantastic, a quality I've never experienced in my life before. So the marketeer was like delivering its superior experience via the product because it was touching and you immediately recognize the quality. But then when it came to price, so the fourth pillar, that was, if I understood well, Andrea, basically the main reason why you didn't go for it.
Yeah. Yes. I would
So
say
this
so.
so this is very important. It tells a lot about the importance of price. We don't come to the conclusion that the price of that quote is wrong, because we don't know if Andrea is in the Europeana target. And again, price communicate a lot about your branding, and Europeana is, I think, one of the highest quality brands in the luxury fashion. So such a high price is part of the strategy. And also because Andrea didn't buy it, but maybe in the future, he will do it. So it can be, even something about really wishing. Sometimes you wish products and you keep wishing and wishing, and then if you can afford it or in a different moment of your life for a number of reasons, then you place the purchase. So I wouldn't say that the price it's wrong. We cannot come to this conclusion, but that this specific Power question or food for thoughts was just for us to understand the role the price point play, in the purchase journey of each of one. So in this specific case, that was the real reason to stop.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
I wish you the best.
Thank you.
for your purchasing with Europeana. So we saw the first three pillars, right? The first three P's that are product and service, place, and price. Now we come to the last one, or at least the fourth one, that is promotion. So this also is a very important one. Like we were saying, there is not a pillar that is more important than the other one. They are all playing a crucial role in your marketing strategy. And of course, promotion is crucial for you to sell and to position in the marketplace your brand, your product, and your service, right? So behind the word promotion, there are a lot of things. Usually when you talk about promotion, you may think about advertising, for example, so the way you promote your product or your service. And there are several ways to do so, of course, via different channels, television, digital channels, outdoor, flyers, guerrilla marketing, and whatever you can think of. But also promotion is a way to build, for example, the awareness about your product, and may influence also your price, so the other pillar. So yes, we talk about promotion when we talk about advertising to build the awareness of your product, to make the more talk product and the more well-known product in your market, but also other very common methods like you can think about discounts or coupons. But they're all marketing, I wouldn't say strategies, but tactics things to, for example, to push the trial of your products or to sell it more in a specific time of the year, for example. So it's Christmas, that more people buy products, and you may decide to go for a specific discount or coupons to invite people to try your product. So these are very different levels within this pillar, That is very important because you will see that also, of course, it requires an investment as well. So each of these pillars require some efforts in terms of strategy, effort in terms of time and allocated resources. But in this case, of course, the investment may be very, very relevant. And of course, you want to make sure that you have something in return. So a good marketing strategy, of course, you have a positive return of your investment. So the final sales of two similar products can vary a lot if one is promoted properly and the other one is not. And that's why one of the reasons you really see companies, and especially the high investors really fighting for the best ADV placement, really pushing a lot in all the channels we saw before to really advertise their product or their service. This is usually done via an advertising agency. So if you work in a company, you will usually outsource this service to an agency that is creating your campaign, your content as well. But of course, you will always work together. So it's something that you will always be in control of. So a lever that in your marketing mix is something really to take care of. And then we came to the last one. It is people. As I was saying, traditionally speaking, marketing has these 4 P's. Recently, we had also this new one, as I was mentioning. So this is the last and the new addition to the 4 traditional mainstays. And this is very important, as I was mentioning, because as the service industry grows more and more, of course, these specific pillars become more and more important. So imagine you have the best product in the world, you have the best placement in the world, you have the best price point because thanks to all your research, you understood exactly which is the right price for your target, and also you are very good in communicating your superiority, your value, so people are willing to pay more for your product. And then you hire the best advertising strategy in the world and you run a fantastic campaign. So basically you have all your pillars very, very strong. Then if you have, let's say, your own store, and I enter in your store and your employee treat me bad, of course, my experience will be terrible and I will not buy, or for example, I can write a terrible, review about your product or your service. And this will compromise not only my own purchase, but potentially can even influence some other people's looking for reviews about your product and service. So don't underestimate the importance also of this last pillar, because it's part of the experience you are putting in the marketplace, exactly like your product, exactly like your place, your price, and your promotion strategy. So it's really important that you invest resourcing to train these employees that are in direct contact with your final consumers. This is very common, as I was saying, in the industry service, but this may be true also for a normal company selling products. For example, if you think about customer care, if a customer just needs an information, or if he or she wants to complain, you may have an interaction between your customer care line and your consumers, and this is also part of the experience, and maybe it may be very rewarding for me or a terrible one. So it's something that as a part of this marketing mix, of this special poison of elements we are building and that we were assessing in this first lecture, that you should not underestimate. can be terrible, but can even be something that if it's a strength of yours, may make the difference among competitors. I don't know if you ever had problems with Amazon, for example, but they even tell themselves to be the most customer-oriented company in the world, and they really invested a lot in their, customer care. And if you have a problem with, a specific product you receive and that you don't like, or it was not like the description you saw, you can be sure that they will do their best to solve the problem, or they will give you back the money. So your final experience with Amazon will be very relieved in case of problems, and they will be very helpful via their people, even if you don't have, in this case, a physical store, right? But you will be interact with a person, or in these recent years with a chatbot that will help you. And this is still part of the marketing mix you're going to put in your place. So especially if you have this frequent interaction with your final customers, with your final consumers, this is another pillar that, of course, is not to be underestimated. So here we have some useful examples about it, but they're very easy to get. For example, in terms of the service provided in a restaurant. Of course, think when you sit in a restaurant, how much is important in terms of service. So it's really about your people, but your experience in the restaurant is not only made by the food you eat, that is the product, but also in the way the service is delivered, and this is all about people. So this is more and more important, especially in this online and digitalized world, as I was saying, because of course people are becoming more and more empowered in the digital world. They put a lot of reviews, and I'm sure that even in your own experience, before going to a restaurant or to booking a nice place, you go through all the different comments by other people, that they have this power to influence, and this is becoming stronger and stronger. If you think about some decades ago, yes, you may have the reviews from your cousin or you ask some friends, but the circle was very limited. This is not true anymore. So taking care about this specific aspect may be really important for some specific sectors. Because remember that an act of purchase is also an experience. So one useful exercise also that I invite you to do every time you design a marketing strategy, it's something that you don't need to go through now, also because this is just the first lecture, but we will go deeper in the next lectures. It's really to think step by step about the experience of your consumer, right? So really you can think about yourself as a consumer, because each of us is a marketer, but also consumer. If you approach every act of purchase as an experience, you can really, put the emphasis of every aspect. Just as a random example, I sell yogurt, right? Because I work in Danone, as I was saying at the beginning, and it's not just about selling yogurt, but it's really the experience that you have in each step. So you buy the yogurt, but even when you take it home, you have in the fridge, then you need to open. So even the open experience is something that we study, So there is a team studying exactly how to maximize the experience from a consumer perspective. And this is something very, very interesting that we will have the possibility to go through in the next lectures. So before leaving you to your deserved evening, I want just saying that during the course, you will have 5 assignments that will account for 40% of your final evaluation. So you will evaluate it, of course, with your presence and how much you are active, how much you move, as the Madagascar movie I show you at the beginning, with your final exam, of course, that will help us going through all the content of the course, but also these assignments that, of course, have the final objective for you to get your hands dirty or in the content and to put into practice all the theory that we go through every week. So it will be 5 in total. And I will leave with the first one. Of course, each assignment is strictly interrelated with the content of that specific class. In this case, the assignment is very easy. It's to choose one brand that you like or that you don't like and analyze their 4 or 5 Ps. So just because this was the brand of today, let's imagine to pick Loro Piana. And then what I ask you is to go through the 4 or the 5 pillars when it's relevant, of course. In this case, Loro Piana, they do have stores with employees interacting with final consumers. So for sure, we need to take into consideration all the 5 mainstays. And then to describe in terms of product, price, promotion, place, and people, all the characteristics of that brand. And really for each of the pillars, in your opinion, which was the choices made by the brand, why, and also if it were good or not, in your opinion. So this is the assignment. For each assignment, there is not a strict deadline. So you will be only required to submit all of them before the final exam. But my advice is to do it, at the pace of the classes, so that you can really go through that specific class and then put straight into practice the content on that specific class. Like in this case, we will not deep dive only about the 4 and 5 Ps, but you will have the opportunity to already provide a specific case and a very concrete case study about one brand of your choices. So this is all for today. I really thank you for being with me. And the next lecture will be on Friday. This will be in class. So usually my class are in Via Orzi Nuovi, which I'm sure you know because you were telling me you had also the high school there. So we will see on Friday in Via Orzi Nuovi for the second lecture. And then if some of you has already done this first assignment and has the wish to share it with the classroom, we will do at the beginning of the class. So I think you will be, usually it's very useful because we go through the assignment, we discuss it together, we have some build from a class, and also is a very easy way to go through the last content. Question, comments, I mean, this was a very preliminary question, so it should be very straightforward, but of course, if you do have questions, doubts, or even during the week, feel free to reach me anytime in the classroom or directly via mail. I will post the slides and also my personal mail, so you have a point of contact for me. And then if you have other questions or doubts, of course, you can ask even directly now.
The next lesson is on Friday or Thursday?
Friday.
Friday.
Now in the classroom, you have the updated, let's say, agenda.
Yeah.
And every week will be on Monday and on Friday. There was some problem because Luca needed to, to really put all your slots. But yeah, he confirmed me yesterday that we have lectures on Monday and on Friday.
Oh, okay.
But now if you go in classroom, you should have already the updated agenda.
Yeah, we do. I saw it before connecting with the lesson, so
Okay. Okay, great.
yeah.
Yeah, because we have another course on Friday.
I saw that Luca posted that the class would be from 2 to 5:30, and then we'll start his class, marketing class, from 5:30 until 8.
Okay,
So
so
it's
it's just after.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So a busy Friday afternoon for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Student lectures. But at least you will be ready for the weekend
Yeah.
to enjoy it to a max. Okay, guys, thank you very much for this first lecture. It was very nice to meet you, and then it will be even more a pleasure of mine to meet you in person on Friday.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and have a lovely evening.
You too.
You too. Bye.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye.
Ciao ciao.